Hi, we're here tonight in Boston for a CMO Club dinner, and we're really pleased to have Paul McNulty, VP of Marketing for IBM here as one of our guest speakers. So Paul, tell us a little bit about what are you seeing as the 2 or 3 big challenges CMOs are facing these days?
Right, so we're seeing, the biggest challenge we're seeing is that the CMO's customers are increasingly empowered. They have more information about the company, about who's buying. They can talk to their friends and peers. This idea of the empowered customer. We see CMOs increasingly under pressure to prove the return on investment on the marketing that they're doing. And increasingly we see CMOs needing to broaden their remit, broaden how they engage with customers to not only go through traditional marketing channels, but really more broadly in all the touch points that a company may use in talking with their customers.
Okay, so what is your advice to CMOs on addressing those 3 challenges?
So as we think about it, in some respects the advice is very much in line with what CMOs have done for years, but with a different spin. So our first thing is to really make sure that you understand your customer as an individual. You're not only speaking to them about as a segment, male versus female, but as best you can really understand their behavior, speak to them and relate to them as an individual. Secondly, we talk about a system of engagement and being able to create value every time you interact with your customer, really providing them with something that they can use will make them feel better about interacting with your company. And then thirdly, in this era of social media and the ability for your customers to communicate with each other, really make sure that you have a brand and a culture that are consistent and authentic, that your employees, your partners, your suppliers represent your brand, your culture as you like them to.
Excellent. Just one final question. Can you give me some examples of some companies that are doing it really well?
Well, so broadly speaking, not specific companies, but we've just completed some really interesting research where we've looked at the behaviors of leading marketers, those marketers, for example, that do manage engagement with their customers across multiple channels, and those marketers that do a really rigorous job analyzing their marketing returns and marketing performance. And what we found is those marketers that exhibit that behavior, that leading behavior, tend to work for companies that are twice as profitable, twice as high revenue growth as for those companies where the marketers are less advanced in their marketing techniques.
Interesting. I'm going to throw in one. I said one final, but we have one more question. Any lessons learned as you've worked with companies in the last year or two on things that you thought were going to work that didn't, or didn't think they were going to work that would just be beneficial for CMOs?
Sure. Well, there's a few things. First of all, it's really important that a lot of this we're talking about technology, that you have a partnership with your CIO or your IT counterparts, that you work together as a team, because some of this can be fairly complex, working with your CIO counterparts. I think it's important that you have a solid understanding and clarity of the ownership of the customer and the customer information. You try to avoid silos. You try to bring the information together, whether that be from your online channels or your offline channels. Customers that don't do that tend to take longer in deploying and seeing productivity from their implementations.
Great. Thank you.